Hey, good morning, everybody. Down at the Rust Buster in Ocala, Florida, and working on this. It's a 1990, 91, that generation of Camaro, and it has T-tops. Okay, this is this is the second T-top that I've shown a clip of over 3 years. So if you got a T-top, you might want to pay attention to this one. Let me show you what we got going on. It's a typical. Some are better, some are worse. And what you have the gasket is it's a C channel on and with a lip, quarter-inch lip. What happens? The water gets between the gasket, goes down to the lip, and eats it from the other side. Then it gets up underneath it, and it just continues to eat. This was really good, but I ended up having to take the whole inside channel off. That flange that goes, that's the gasket goes in and then clips down. You got to have it, otherwise it's just gonna lift. That's what they made it for. Well, of course you can't just go to the store and buy this shape. At the same time, you don't want to call up Arizona or someplace with a nice one and cut the whole top off to graft it on because whoa. When it comes to not being able to get parts, I fabricate them and get you into the park. This what I did was, I started out with a piece of this 20 gauge, okay, and rolled up it with, scribed my line and used the side of a grinding wheel to make like a half of a scribe. Then with the flange tool, you start rolling it around. When you don't want to use a cutoff wheel because that line is too narrow. Use the end of a grinding wheel, and you made a weak spot, and it'll come out pretty straight enough to form. Then I trimmed it down. I did because I'm going to plug weld it. It's got to be really flat. So I scribed my line and lost my part again, like usual. I had it right in my hand. Oh, yeah. So I ended up with this. Okay, this is the red oxide primer. I'm going to clean this up, make sure it's all the surface, and I'm going to red oxide primer that as well. So when I weld it, both sides have the red oxide, and red oxide is a weld through primer. Once I get that in and down, then I'll be able to start, as I work my way across, I'll be able to, because it's multiple radius. So I do. I could show you that later on, but I use a masonry broad chisel, and that's how I'll be able to form it into the corner. And at the same time, when I'm done, pop it down and give it exactly the radius that I want. Then the last thing is I'll trim it with a cutoff wheel, and there you go. Hey, Dano, that's easier said than done. Oh, yeah? Let's see. There's a couple of spots in the back where it's missing like 2 or 3 inches of it. I made up that other piece, so I'll be cutting bits out of it, and you add it up, and that's about it. Hey, for field work, this is and at your house, this is where we are. This one's going to go okay. It's got a couple holes in the pillar, but that's pillar work. There's nothing new and exciting about that. But these T-tops, those gaskets, this shit's got to go in there tight, right. Rust comes back, I'll be dead meat, and it can't leak. So everything has to, when he lays those gaskets on, I want him to be able to just pop them right in without fighting with it, without calling me up to come up here to do it. Nah, man, I set up for success. That's what I'm always about. All right, I'm gonna get to work on this. You guys go hang around, and I'll be posting again. Thanks. Hey, don't forget, hit subscribe. All right. Thanks. Bye bye.